Matt here with FBA TV. We got a huge surprise for you guys these next couple weeks. We're going to do a couple segments of talking and interviewing with some of our college guys that went off to school and they're beginning, their next couple years. And we're going to kind of dive in deep, kind of ask them some questions about this summer and, from the time they hit high school, just kind of give everybody an inside look on, what it takes to kind of get to the level that they're at. All right, back again for another episode of FBA TV. We have a few of our college guys here with us today and the CEO and operator of Florida Baseball Academy itself. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor and let the guys go ahead and introduce themselves, and we'll get rolling with this interview.
I'm Aeden Celestino. I go to Daytona State College, and I'm a pitcher. I'm a freshman.
I'm Fletcher Cline. I go to Daytona State College. I play third base, and I will be a sophomore this year.
I'm Jace Wilson. I also go to Daytona State College, and I play first base and center field. I'm a sophomore.
Coach Steppy, go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself.
Florida Baseball Academy is just an organization that helps kids find places in college and allows them to get in front of the right people to, I guess, prolong their career as long as possible.
Perfect. All right. So kind of the first thing I kind of wanted to go into, especially with Jace and Fletcher, since, they're going into their sophomore year. Guys, go ahead and talk a little bit about your experiences of going from that, taking that step, going from high school into college, just kind of what it felt like. Did everything happen the way you thought it would? Kind of something along those lines, just to kind of give the young players, in our organization, the viewers, just kind of something to learn about.
So for me personally, I don't know about Jace. I thought going into college to play baseball, we were just going to walk in there knowing how to play baseball, just get thrown into a lineup and play. But actually it was far from that. So at Daytona, they expected us to know the game, but they retaught certain aspects, and they expected it to be done the way that they taught it, not the way that you think you already know how. So for me, that was a big transition of learning how to do some things that seem simple in baseball a completely different way.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the same thing, kind of just retaught the entire game. And I'm a big baseball junkie anyway, so I helped pick me up on it quick. But the academic piece was different too. I ran into some trouble at the beginning, but then never had any problems after that, and then jumped right into the spring.
Good. Yeah, that's the biggest transition that guys are going to make, going from that 17, 18-year-old age all the way to college, to kind of, moving away from home, doing those different things. Aiden, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think it's like? I mean, I know you've been there for a couple of weeks now. Obviously, during this COVID and everything's a little bit different, but, does a lot of this kind of sound familiar to you, or do you feel you have different thoughts or opinions on it?
I mean, I've always talked to Jace about how it's going to be. So I kind of expect some of those things, but until I experience it, I don't think I really truly know what it's going to be like.
For that, man. Well, Coach Steppy, go ahead and, tell us a little bit about these guys, just kind of from the moment that you first met them and watched them play till kind of when they left the program and were on their way to college.
Oh, boy. I'm going to start with Jace just because, gosh, I feel like I've known that kid since he was 5'2", and now he's 6'3", and made a huge transition from, don't take offense to this, Jace, from more of a punching Judy, slap guy to a guy that actually is looking to hit the ball out of the park pretty consistently. I mean, what can you really say about Jace? He did a lot of growing up, especially with some of our previous coaches, and I always knew that he was going to play college baseball. There wasn't an option for him, and that's when you know that you have a baseball player on your team, is when there is no other option for him. He is going to play baseball. It's just a matter of where and how long. And I'm glad he found the right place, which was really close to home specifically for him, and he gets to keep an eye on his mom at the same time, which I'm going to touch on Amy too, because she's a tremendous baseball mom and does a lot for her son.
Yeah, we can go with Aiden and Fletcher.
Because you can go with another tremendous baseball dad there that one of the few parents that I can actually have conversations about baseball with, and not feel like I'm trying to dumb down the conversation at all. And Pete's a good human, and he's always trying to do what's best for the kids. But when it comes to Aeden was always the word for Aeden was he was I like to call him Baby Huey's, because he was 6'4", a little bit soft, knew the game and pitched really well when we first got him. But he had to learn, I guess, a little bit of brute force, a little bit of attitude. And once he found that, I think he kind of took off. And it's fun to watch, because now he goes out there with a swagger that I didn't see a year ago. And it almost looks like every guy that walks out is going to be out before they even step in the box. When it comes to Fletcher, believe it or not, I've known Fletcher longer than anybody here, and I didn't know I knew him. He played on a team when I first moved back to Florida with another player from FBA that eventually was on FBA's team. And I do remember him now, and I do remember him being a little bit goofy at that age. But fortunately, he grew into his body and became a pretty super athlete, where you could almost see him playing any position on the field and feel comfortable with it. And that's the fun part. And the only thing that Fletcher lacked when we got him this year was a little bit of confidence from hitting from one side of the plate. And once he felt no pressure in doing it, it became easy for him. And that had nothing to do with FBA, believe it or not. That was just because he's just an athlete. And, confidence is something that you need in baseball to go as far as you can. And once you lose it, it's hard to find again. But if you have it, it can really make your baseball career take off.
No doubt in that. So guys, what went into, like, when you were getting recruited by Daytona, what were some things you look for in a college or a school that made it feel like this is where you wanted to go?
I'll let them take this because I really didn't get recruited.
I guess I'll start off. I committed very early to Daytona State. I had a couple little offers, but this is like before my junior year started. I got the offer, and my mom was kind of, I wouldn't say pressuring me into it, but kind of making me really think about it. And then Coach Stebby brought to my attention, because I was just like everybody else. Freshman year, I'm like, oh, I want to go SEC, D1, all this stuff. But then I really figured out that the JUCO route is money for sure. And they offered me, I went to a camp, they offered me full ride, and I needed the full ride because I can't really afford to go to any other school. And my grades were subpar at a high school, so I wasn't going to get much academic money. So I just needed all the help I could get financially, and they answered those questions for me. And staying close to home, like Mal said, and just all around good fit.
Aiden, what about Daytona intrigued you and made you want to go there?
I'm sure Jace will tell you, like, it's probably one of the best, like, JUCO baseball, like, facilities around here. Coach Tuma is, like, renowned. Like, everybody knows Coach Tuma. He's definitely an interesting person. But the academic wise part, it's pretty appealing, just because, like, you have to get good grades. Like, you're not gonna have bad grades. Like, that's just not an option. And it's close to home, and it's cheap, and they gave me a good scholarship.
Yeah, I would go there too with those qualities. But Fletcher, not even from a recruiting standpoint, just what about Daytona? How did you end up there? How did you get to being on Daytona's team?
Okay, so I had 2 offers before Daytona. One was going to cost me $69,000 a year, and then the other one was 6-7 hours away. So I was still looking for something to make more sense just for me and my family. And my high school coach gave Jurgens, the assistant coach at Daytona, a call. And I got to go to a camp for free, performed well at the camp, got a call later that week from Tuma telling me that he was going to give me a walk-on spot. And I went out, got one more offer, kind of weighed my options, and Daytona was an hour away from home, really nice facilities, and I had family in Daytona. So for me, it just made the most sense to be there.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes without saying with a lot of, I guess, the perception nowadays is that everybody wants to go to these big universities and colleges and everything. But, if you're going to pay, almost 12 grand or 30 grand a year for those big schools going out of state or whatever the case may be, you're better off just staying either local or finding somewhere that you can go to junior college to have that $1,200, payment a semester. And you're going to take the same credits that you're going to take at those bigger schools. The only thing that, and the reality of it, it's, where do you personally fit in? Like I remember when I was younger and, Steppy was talking to me about school and stuff. There was 3 things that he always talked about for it being a good fit. The first one was going to be, well, not in necessarily in any order, but like it's academic, athletic, and, is it a good fit for you? If those 3 things apply, again, Steph, correct me if I'm wrong, I think those were the 3 that, you've talked about in the past.
Academic, athletic, and social.
That's really good stuff, guys. I appreciate that. What are some expectations you guys have? I know we're kind of in a weird time with the COVID and everything, but as far as, if spring hits, you guys got your 56 game season, what are some expectations you guys have for your personal, performances, like your goals and stuff like that? Fletch, I'll go ahead and let you go first.
For me personally, I'm just trying to hit solid this year, stay up in the 340 area for average like I did last year, and hopefully throw in some more power numbers than last year, considering I weigh 25 more pounds than I did last year. I like to throw in some doubles, maybe a dinger in there, who knows. But that's kind of what I'm looking for this season.
All right, Jace, what you got?
Yeah, kind of the same, just with the stick. I was swinging it really good last year. We got about 23 games in and pumped the brakes with the COVID and everything like that. So hoping to, get starting in some of these inter squads, get my swing back, and then hop into spring and see if I can go north of 360 again and put a couple balls out of the yard.
Okay. All right, Aiden. What are you looking forward to you doing this year?
Really just to be on the roster and have like a position that's like I'll be playing often. Like I want to just perform basically.
All right.
And there's really nothing else.
I'm ready to take you deep in an inter squad.
I don't know about that. K you up.
Yes, sir! Okay, look, boy, you boy! Oh, there you go! No. Out of bed, James! Oh! Yes, sir!
All right, guys, last little surprise for you. We got math. All right. If you guys want some, we got plenty left in stock. Go ahead and hit the email down below. Send us an email. Let us know how many you want. All right. Again, thanks for checking out the video. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below, and we'll see you next time.